Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Attorney John Deaton today has issued a warning that XRP may be permanently delisted from cryptocurrency exchanges in the United States and perhaps in some rare instances other regions of the world, frankly. And he shared thoughts on exactly what he believes is at stake and why. He did a great job articulating his case. And so I want to share with you what he had to say, along with some of my own thoughts along the way. Look, this is not designed to scare anybody. I want to be clear at the outset. But this is a very real threat. Now, I don't think it's going to happen. I'm optimistic for what's going to happen in the court case. I believe that Ripple is on the right side of history here. I believe that XRP, just by the nature of it existing, is not a security. I think there's a very strong case for that. And I think that justice will be sufficiently done. I'm optimistic for that. But you have to understand what I'm saying here, and I think what John is saying here, is that there's a lot at stake. And if this doesn't go the right way, there could be serious problems. And so again, I'm not saying that to scare anybody, but I want to articulate what is at stake. This is important for all of us as XRP holders. And so I've long said on this channel, I'm not only going to cover the feel-good stuff about XRP, I'm going to cover the scary stuff, the bad stuff if there's negative stuff happening around Ripple and XRP, and I'm not afraid to talk about that stuff because I'll tell you what, as an XRP holder, the idea of something going catastrophically wrong and me not knowing about it, that's scary, you know. if something's actually going to go horrifically wrong, and I believe that I need to get out, like I want to be informed of that, don't you? And look, I don't think that's where we are, but we need to be aware of what's going on here. And so at the outset here, I do want to be clear that I don't have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about a hobby, about Ripple and XRP and crypto, but that is all that's going on here. Now, I'm going to assume that most of you at this point are aware of attorney John Deaton and what he's been doing. He's a member of the XRP community, and right now, we're waiting to hear from a judge, but he has officially filed to intervene on behalf of some specifically named individuals, as well as about 17,000 XRP holders. He's filed to intervene in the SEC versus Ripple case as a third party because, you know, in a nutshell, and I've talked about this in great detail, so I'll be very brief on this, but I just want to make sure everybody knows what's going on there. He sees what we see, which is that XRP holders' interests are not being sufficiently vocalized within this case. You know, and of course, it's not surprising. So, you know, frankly, Ripple, they're doing their own thing. They're a company. Then there's the SEC that's insisting effectively that XRP basically is part of Ripple. How is any of this in the interest or sharing the perspective of actual XRP holders? It's clearly not. And so I've covered that sufficiently. But that's one of the big things that he's doing right now. We're waiting to hear back and see if the judge is going to prove that. Ripple has articulated that they do want John Deaton to be able to intervene in a limited capacity. Right? But here's what he had to say. In his most recent post on social media here. This is on Twitter. SEC versus Ripple. As a former federal prosecutor, I can tell you that what governs the case is the complaint, not a statement on the record, unless it's a stipulation, or a statement made in a motion. That's why the SEC filed an amended complaint to cure deficiencies. So let me pause there. The initial filing against Ripple took place on December 22nd, 2020. And they apparently didn't do a great job because roughly a couple months later, the SEC filed an amended complaint. And you know what perhaps their biggest oversight, perhaps? It was just evidence that it's like it's amateur hour over there. But they charged Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple CEO, and Chris Larson, co-founder of Ripple, with selling XRP as an unregistered security. And they didn't, in their initial complaint, convey that there was some sort of underlying or an understanding that XRP was a security, like, as in they didn't articulate that Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson knew that what they were doing was wrong. And as it turns out, that's actually part of the requirement. If you're going to go ahead and have them found to have been guilty of acting in this way, you have to prove that they were reckless about it, or that they knew what they were doing was wrong and did it anyway. And so you have to prove intent. And they didn't put anything really in the initial complaint to indicate that. And so they're not doing. They've got all sorts of wacky claims out there about Ripple and XRP and this and that, and then they're forgetting this. It's like, do you even lawyer, bro? It's like they don't. They just mess it up everywhere. And so it's also not surprising in hindsight to see that in the number of recent pretrial hearings that the SEC has really just been losing. I've been making videos about that too as that information is rolled out. But Ripple's got some wins under its belt, and the trial hasn't even started yet. Anyway, John Deaton continues now. The SEC states in its opposition that it is not alleging secondary market sales as violations. That simply means they aren't alleging it in this case. If XRP itself is deemed a security as the SEC alleges, then they could claim violations in future cases. So right there, and this is a key part. If indeed the SEC has their way, and they win this case, it's an absolute slam dunk here, then that opens up the doors. They'll have a precedent set, and it'll open up the doors for them to come after actual XRP holders if they so choose, and cryptocurrency exchanges that are trading XRP. And you'll see John Deaton specifically articulates the concern about permanent delisting of XRP in just a little bit later in this, but I'm going to go through this in the order that he typed this up here. And then he shared some screen grabs from his printed version of what the SEC actually filed here, just to point out what the SEC is actually saying, what they're actually arguing in their own words. And you can see what he highlighted on the screen here from the actual SEC complaint against Ripple. And it is as follows. The nature of XRP itself made it the common thread among Ripple, its management, and all other XRP holders. Does it get more clear than that? Does it? That's pretty damn clear here. And then here's another one. No significant non-investment use for XRP exists, and Ripple did not sell XRP in the offering for use. And so right there, that's a blatant lie. There's definitely significant non-investment use of XRP, but they don't want that to be true. They don't want what reality is to actually be reality. Because if reality is reality, then that weakens their case. So they want to live in a fantasy land where XRP doesn't do a damn thing, and it's just a bunch of people speculating. And by the way, speculation in and of itself that does not make something a security. If so, how the hell would Bitcoin and Ethereum get the green light from the SEC? That doesn't make any damn sense, does it? Of course not. And so then moving down a little bit further here. John continues now. That is why the exchanges would permanently delist XRP. Pause. See, this is what I'm saying. This is exactly what is at stake here. And it's just like, it's like some people... look, the thing is, I read so much about this stuff on social media and in articles. I see opinions from all over the place, and again, I'm not saying this to scare people, but I want people to understand the severity of what could happen, like just how bad this could be if things go. And I don't think it will happen, but damn, this could get really, really bad. So I'm sitting here in the United States thinking, what if this actually did happen? I couldn't even sell my asset. So... That's why, you know what I'm really hoping for? I'm just hoping that at some point we're just going to wake up one day and we're going to see these headlines that there's some sort of settlement. And it looks to me like the case the SEC has against Ripple is really falling off the rails. Like it looks like a train wreck to me. I mean, thus far. Especially with that blow, as I was just citing a moment ago. The SEC losing pretrial motion. What? I'm not a lawyer. How do you word it? The SEC losing positions pre-trial hearings. Because they're now forced to actually share internal documentation about how they came to determine the actual legal status of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, internal documents. And so if there's overlap with Bitcoin and Ethereum, comparing that to XRP, that's going to look really bad for the SEC. That's going to look super duper bad, because how could you declare that XRP is a security and the others are not? So we'll have to wait until to see how that unfolds, but it's not going to be good for them. I'll tell you that. If there's something in there could be some skeletons in the closet here. And then John Deaton wrote the following. People can continue to misstate the truth all they want. All the SEC had to do was stipulate that they are only claiming that XRP, when sold by Ripple, is a security. They refuse. Exactly. So think about that. So the people that don't think that they're coming after XRP holders, I'm like, you just sit there and wait. If they win this, absolutely they'll come after whoever the hell they want. They're going to feel like they've got the wind at their backs at that point. Absolutely. They'll amp all of this up, frankly. Right? And because think about it, if they didn't want to have the opportunity to go after exchanges and XRP holders in general, if they really believed it was only Ripple that was breaking the law by selling XRP as though it's an investment contract, if that's really all they wanted, why wouldn't they make that clear? Why would they allow a multi-billion-dollar loss in XRP markets globally by making these claims? Why wouldn't they just say, oh, no, it's just Ripple, XRP itself, not a security? Isn't that telling? More than a little bit? Of course it is. Right? And so John Deaton continues, I have attached just a few of the allegations in the complaint that demonstrate the SEC's theory. And this is a quote, the nature of XRP itself, and I cited that one already. And then the next one, the very nature of XRP in the market. That's another actual quote from them. Just the nature of what XRP is. It's disgusting here. And then John writes, that's why Judge Netburn, not John Deaton, said to the SEC on the record that based on the SEC's complaint and theory of the case, quote, and this is the judge now, Judge Netburn, every individual in the world who is selling XRP is committing a Section 5 violation, end quote. Now, I do want to be clear, though. So the judge said that. When Judge Sarah Netburn said that, though, she was, and I'm going to have to paraphrase a little bit, it was in response to SEC attorney Jorge Tenrero. He said something, and then she came back and said, okay, but basically, if that's the argument, then logic would follow that every individual in the world who is selling XRP is committing a Section 5 violation. That's what the judge said in response to what the SEC attorney Jorge Tenrero was claiming right there. That's a big deal. And so they can sit there, and sometimes they said, no, we're not going after XRP holders, this or that. You can say that all you want, but you're speaking out of both sides of your mouth, because right there, the judge just caught you in your little logical fallacy there, saying, no, your claims do mean that every individual, if what you're saying comes to pass, every individual in the world who's selling XRP is committing a violation. Which is absurd, obviously. And John Deaton said as much. Check this out. Here's more from John Deaton. That was the judge, not me. I know it's absurd. I'm sure some people find it hard to believe the SEC would make this argument, but they claim XRP has no utility. So you know when I see claims like that, I'm just like, oh, okay, no utility. Why don't you tell that to Ripple's customers who utilize on-demand liquidity, which is part of RippleNet, which requires the use of XRP to move money around the planet every day? Like, maybe tell them why they don't know that it's not offering them any utility. It's not actually solving problems for them. Could you go, please, Jorge Tenrero, and just call up all of Ripple's customers and let them know, hey, just so you know, this isn't actually useful to you. You just think it is. Freaking idiots. It's so absurd. John Deaton continues now. They claim XRP has no utility even today. They just said it again in their opposition papers. So if anyone claims the SEC is only arguing that when Ripple sells XRP it's a violation, is ignoring the complaint which governs the case and the judge. I'm fair game. People can ignore me or criticize me. I'm not perfect, and I'll be the first to agree that I'm a flawed human being just like everyone else. Hester Peirce, by the way, Hester Peirce is a SEC commissioner. Hester Peirce said in an interview on the Thinking Crypto YouTube channel, she is trying to get the SEC away from viewing the token as a security. So am I. Yeah, exactly. And it's ridiculous, viewing the token as a security. Because if they didn't view the token as a security, then they wouldn't have caused multi-billion-dollar losses in XRP markets globally. They just sort of said, hey, we're going after Ripple, but just so you guys know, XRP itself isn't a security. And then bam, all these cryptocurrency exchanges wouldn't have had to remove it from their platforms out of an abundance of caution. Because right now, most of them have really just halted it. The risk here, though, again, it's not just some sort of extended halting of trading of XRP. You're talking about potentially a permanent delisting of XRP. And so I'm optimistic, though. Like it's on my radar. I acknowledge it's concerning, But it's so absurd, and I think that a ruling that would result in that happening to XRP, I think it would just obliterate all of crypto in the United States, basically. Maybe Bitcoin survives, and so recognizing that, I have to believe that justice is going to be done here. It's so, it would be so illogical, so nonsensical, and so destructive if justice is not done here. It's just hard to fathom all of the implications of that, and well, we're going to find out in real time, though, right? We're all living through this together here. It'll be a hell of a story down the road, but it's very interesting even now. But I'm just saying, once it comes to completion, just to be able to tell the whole story and just what it was like to actually hold XRP through all this, it's going to be something. But here we are. So again, it's worth being aware of. I'm not losing sleep over it, but yeah, it's serious implications here. So anyway, I'm appreciative of John Deaton sharing his perspective on this, because he is an attorney and most of us are not. And so I'm always going to continue to prop up those in the XRP community that are contributing in meaningful ways. I'm going to prop them up on my YouTube channel. And so that's what I'm doing here. I appreciate his thoughts and perspective, and I think he's right, and the message needs to continue to get out. But I will wrap up there. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.